On today's episode, we'll do a slight recap of yesterday's Super Bowl awesome fanboy commercials. We'll give tribute to Mr. Philip Seymour Hoffman. We'll go over some crate news with the Daughter of Joker comic series, and of course, I take over your user questions. What's up, everybody, and welcome to the show where I, a total fan, come to you with the news of movies, video games, comic books, and everything else in the world of fandom, and I bring that information to you simply just because I feel like it. And today, we're going to do a quick recap of the 3 most fanboy commercials that happened yesterday, minus the Radio Shack commercial, because honestly, the 80s and all that stuff that are covered over, I think is freaking awesome. But we're just going to do the 3 trailers that we saw today. So the 3 movies yesterday. So the 3 movies were Captain America, The Winter Soldier, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and Transformers 4, Age of Extinction. Now, personally, I love Captain America, my favorite comic book, actually my first comic book that I picked up as a kid. So while I do have a little bit bias, I do believe that the Captain America commercial beat out the other 2, and that's just how it is. I mean, the trailer for Spider-Man 2 I thought was awesome, but a lot of that we kind of already saw with the trailer that was with the teaser trailer for the Super Bowl trailer. So but I definitely think that Spider-Man was a close second to Captain America. Now Transformers, while I thought was awesome to see Grimlock, just the commercial didn't really do it for me in terms of wow and amazement. Now I am looking forward to it, especially, you know, after everything we saw, definitely even more looking forward to it. And considering that I like the first one, I like the second half of the third one, you know, that's a little bit more for what other people can say who actually didn't like 2 and 3, and for even more for the ones who didn't even like the movies at all. So while I did like the 4th one, I don't think it took the cake. Definitely think Captain America is in the lead there. Now, I do think that the Amazing Spider-Man movie, overall, probably be a little bit better than Captain America. But, like I said, personally, I have a bias, and I honestly think Captain America is going to be far greater, in my opinion. But we'll wait and see, because right now, Captain's coming first in April 4th, and then Spider-Man in May 2nd. Now, I don't remember when the Transformers movies come out, but if you guys want to go ahead and leave that little comment down below, go ahead and let all the other guys watching the show, let them know when it's coming on. Now, next, I have a bunch of notes for this section here, because I want to give my tribute, my condolences to the family of Mr. Philip Seymour Hoffman. Now, Mr. Hoffman won the 2005 Academy Award for Best Actor for his biopic movie of, I think it's Capote, or it could be Capote, I'm not sure, and I do apologize for botching the name there. But he won the 2005 Academy Awards, and then he was nominated 3 times for Best Supporting Actor. In addition to that, he also won 3 Tony Awards for his work in the theater. Now, for those of you who don't know, a Tony Award is essentially an Oscar for the world of theater. So definitely, you know, he was a great actor. Now, one of the things that probably may or may not get mentioned was the 3 supporting actor nominations he got. Now, from what I hear, unfortunately, I didn't have the pleasure of meeting Mr. Hoffman, but from what I understand, that he was the type of actor that didn't really care about being center stage, and that I think that's honestly a great way to see things, considering that he's a great actor. He was one of the greatest, and for him to not really care about being center stage kind of says a lot. Now, I'm not trying to down all the other actors that do care about it. I'm just saying, you know, for him, and as big as he was, you know, that's in my opinion, is truly something amazing about his character and about the person that he was. And again, I'm not trying to down everybody else. That's just how I feel about Mr. Hoffman. And in addition to that, some of the movies he was in, some of them you might have seen, some of them you might have heard of, but some of the ones I thought were really great were Twister, Boogie Nights, The Big Lebowski, and The Talented Mr. Ripley. Now, his next movie coming up is, or at least, you know, in the world of fanboys, is the Hunger Games Mockingjays Part 1 and Part 2. Now, from what I read, his death, his unfortunate tragic death will not impede with the release dates of the Hunger Games movies. Part 1 is set to release November 21st of 2014, coming out this November, and then Part 2 is coming out November 20th next year, 2015. Now his Part 1 was done, filming was done. Part 2, apparently he only had 7 days left, but supposedly, that's still enough, or at least sufficient enough, where if they get somebody to replace him, maybe it may not be too big of a replacement, or if they just decide to take him out altogether, who knows, we'll see what happens. But with the only 7 days left to film, it's something that, as for you major fans of the of the Hunger Games series, that's going to be kind of weird to see how they do it. But that's something we'll wait and see. I definitely like the second one, Catching Fire, and I'm looking forward to watching The Mockingjay. Unfortunately, I didn't have the pleasure of reading the books either, so I don't really know too much about the whole overall story arc. So, but we'll wait and see what happens with Part 1 and Part 2 as we get there. Now, not a lot of people, but some people emailed me about what was it that killed him. A lot of people are commenting on what it was that killed him. He was found in his office apartment with a needle in his arm. Now, personally, I don't want to go into that. That shouldn't be the biggest thing. The biggest thing is that we lost a great actor, not that, he OD'd. That's not the biggest thing. And as part of me giving tribute and me giving my condolences to him, is that I don't want to cover that. What I want to cover is that he died at the age of 46. At that young of an age, considering how a lot of actors in today's world are much older, they're still coming out with really great movies, great characters, and great roles. It's very sad and unfortunate that we lost Mr. Hoffman at 46. But definitely, we have all his great movies, and definitely it's going to be something that we'll cherish as movie fans. And fans of him. Now, personally, I don't like going too much into celebrity details, just because, fandom out of the concept as so much as the celebrity is kind of different. But with him being an actor and him being in the Hunger Games series, in the movie, I definitely think as a fanboy subject, that's something I wanted to cover. And again, I give my condolences to his family, to the friends and family that were very close to him. So, to you, Mr. Philip Seymour Hoffman, we tip our hat off to you, sir. Now, the next subject is, although very distinct change of pace. You guys, I don't know if you guys have started reading about this. I don't know if you guys know anything about this, but on Wednesday is set to be released. DC Comics is set to release one-shot comics, or one-shot comic series of The Daughter of Joker. Now, for those of you who don't know, and I don't want to spoil anything, but the character is Miss Duella Dent, who disguises herself at first as the daughter of all these different villains, part of Batman's Rogues Gallery, including Catwoman, Scarecrow, the Riddler, and a couple other people. Now, through her original release, she confronted herself with Robin, and she ends up telling Robin that she's actually the daughter of Harvey Dent, or Two-Face, in an attempt to join the Teen Titans to make up for all the wrong that he has done. Later on in a different story arc, after Teen Titans was canceled, Nightwing kind of questions, she would have been too old to have been Two-Face's daughter. And at that point, there was other stuff that goes along, and again, I don't want to spoil anything, so I definitely recommend to pick up any of those comics. I know she appeared in a Catwoman story arc. I think she did appear in Death in the Family, which is a great story arc, and if you guys haven't read it, I highly recommend picking that up. So now, what's going on with these one-shot series is that, prior to that, is revealed that she's the daughter of Jokester, who, if anybody who's really big into DC Comics, is essentially the parallel of Joker in an alternate universe. They have all these universes. They have the New 52, Earth 3, and all this other stuff, all these other parallel universes. So Jokester is apparently the Joker in that world, in Earth 3. and so she is the daughter of him. Now, in this new comic series, basically what it's going to be about is for her to kind of find herself and also try to find who the Joker is and try to get in touch with her father. Now, honestly, if you guys haven't read the comic books, get into them. If you're a major fan of DC Comics, major fan of Joker, or just read them, pick them up. I highly recommend it. It's definitely going to be something very awesome once that rolls along. Well, that about does it for our information for today, Monday, February 3rd, 2014. Before we go on, I want to go on with our user questions. So the first one we have today. Dear fan, what is your take on Guillermo del Toro directing JLA Dark? Thanks, and keep up the great work, from Jason. I hope this isn't the same Jason that comments are saying that my video sucks, but let me go ahead and take care of that now. Justice League Dark, or JLA Dark, to be honest, I don't know too much about it, but what I do know is that essentially it's a new team of superheroes that is primarily based off the magic side. With Marvel, they have mutants. With DC, they have magic. It's something that, again, I don't really know too much about, just because the characters I don't know a lot about. I do know that Zatanna and Constantine are going to be in there, and there's going to be a couple other things. Now, from what I gather about Guillermo del Toro directing this is supposedly false. He is not directing this, as far as I know. He's just looking for screenwriter now, but there's no green light. Nothing is given permission to go ahead, so I definitely think that's going to be something we're going to have to wait and see, just because we don't have too many details on it now, apart from Del Toro just wanting a screenwriter for now. What's my take on him directing it? Well, if he is the one who's going to be directing it, I definitely think that's going to be awesome. Guillermo del Toro is one of those directors that I do enjoy. I do like watching his work. Pacific Rim was his most recent one, and then he's got another one I think called Crimson Peak or something like that coming out. That's going to be interesting. So if he does decide to direct this, I definitely think it's going to be kind of cool. But again, with these characters, it's kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy. They're characters that not a lot of many people know about, so when it does come out, you know, I'm kind of curious as to how they're going to promote or market this. So this is definitely going to be something we're going to have to see. But again, nothing's greenlit. He's just writing it. So that's something we'll wait to see later. Next question. Dear fan, while I like your videos and content, there are some major buggy issues going on with your videos. I am one of the very few that watch, but I want you to keep at it. Thank you, sir. My question is, in regards to Mick Foley's video about CM Punk, what do you think that this will mean for Monday Night Raw? Well, today being Monday, and I'm sorry, the message came in from a Mr. David. David, thank you so much for sending in this email, and thank you about the buggy issues, and I'll address that after the question. But today is Monday. Monday Night Raw is today. For those of you who don't know what he's talking about, David and I'm going to assume David saw it, but Mick Foley put out a video, I believe it was yesterday, about Mick Foley commenting about CM Punk's departure from the WWE. I didn't want to cover this just because I saw the email first, and I was like, oh, I'll address it in the email. So, Mick Foley basically stated that he knows CM Punk very well, and that he kind of would prefer that CM Punk just stick it out a little bit longer, at least wait until his contract expires, which is set to be in July. He suggested that CM Punk just take a break, heal if he needs to, because apparently he's not operating at optimum level. Just take a break off and come back, and supposedly he's supposed to headline the main event at WrestleMania against Triple H. So it's not going to be the title match, it's going to be Punk versus Triple H. And so Mick Foley basically just tells us, the fans, of what he would like for CM Punk to do is to take a break, to relax, to heal, and then come WrestleMania, make a crazy amount of money in fighting a match that would definitely help him with a story. Because if he is mad at creative, he's going to take it out on Triple H. And definitely, I think that would be a great match, to be honest. As to what this could mean for Monday Night Raw, well, apparently I found out earlier today that he was actually removed from the WWE app as well. So honestly, I don't think it's going to change anything. I know on Friday Night SmackDown, I know they had their match fixed, which, by the way, I need to correct something, but I know they had that fixed on Friday. And then today, I'm just going to assume it's business as usual, just without CM Punk. That's the only thing I can say. I know he was replaced during a match by Sheamus. Sheamus and the Usos, I think against the Shield, Sheamus took the place of Punk because Punk was supposed to go against them. And I believe that was on Friday, or maybe that was last Monday. So that's something we're going to have to wait to see. So that's the update. So again, David, thank you for the question. And last question of the day comes from Mr. Johnny. Dear Totally a Fan, thank you, sir. What do you think about Ron and Hermione splitting up? J.K. Rowling stated that she made a mistake. What is your take? And again, Johnny, I want to thank you for the email. For those of you who don't know what's going on here, supposedly J.K. Rowling stated, I believe it was in an interview, that she regretted hooking up Ron Weasley and Hermione Granger. Now, apparently what had happened was, while writing the story, she wanted it to happen just based out of, I guess, her love for the characters as she was writing it. So supposedly after some time between when the last movie came out till now, she kind of, looking back, was like, I don't know how that works. Now, apparently a lot of shippers are saying that they prefer Harry and Hermione anyways, but then you also have some people that are flipping out that it should have always been Ron and Hermione. Now, for those of you who read the book, definitely the relationship between Ron and Hermione was definitely very, very rocky around the middle, and it kind of takes forever for them to finally hook up. If you really think about it, they have all these arguments, and I think it's until the Half-Blood Prince where we actually see Hermione making more of an effort for it. And now in the movies, they kind of hint at it at Prisoner of Azkaban, and then in The Goblet of Fire and such, but it isn't until, in my opinion, Half-Blood Prince where there's more effort coming from both sides that they want to be together. And to be honest, regardless of who hooked up during, whether or not Hermione hooked up with Harry or Ron, I don't think that really plays that big of a role in the whole movie. Even her hooking up with Ron, I don't think played a part in the movie. It just kind of helped tying into the end, the family and the bloodlines and stuff like that. Personally, Harry hooks up with Ginny. I never liked that. I would have preferred he went with Cho. And if you've read the book, it explains a little bit more what happened, whereas the nonsense that happened in the movie, it was kind of like, oh, she messed up, peace out. It was a little bit more to it than that. But he hooks up with Ginny anyways. And so him hooking up with Hermione, while I don't see it as being too much of a bad thing, I gotta say that a lot of people, it's unexpected that Hermione, the lead female, hooks up with like the backup male. So I definitely think that was interesting, but personally I preferred Ron and Hermione. I just personally would have wished they would have hooked up, or at least try to hook up a little bit sooner rather than later, but it is what it is. So I want to thank to Jason, David, and Johnny for your emails. Thank you guys so much for watching the show. If you guys follow me on Twitter, or if you guys have any other questions, go ahead and post downstairs. I got that contact information down there. And if you guys have any questions, any topics you guys want to go over, please, please, please go ahead, send me that information, because honestly, I'm making this show for you guys. I want to present to you the information that I think is awesome. And if it's not necessarily catering to what you guys think is awesome, then let me know, because I'd rather see what you guys think. I want to know what you guys think about the content I'm giving with the content that you guys want to hear about. So if you guys got any questions, any comments, concerns, anything you want, post it downstairs. Leave a comment, subscribe to follow me on Twitter, send me an email, let me know. And if you guys want more videos, if you guys like my content and prefer more of this content and more videos, go ahead and click that subscribe button. I try to post every day. Now, before I go, I do want to comment a little bit earlier about what David said. At this time, I am using very limited sources on trying to record from my webcam. I am hoping to possibly get a camera soon and update all my stuff, but at least for now, I just care about giving you guys the content. Hopefully in maybe a week or a couple weeks, once I get in a better situation, once I get more comfortable with dishing out these episodes quicker, I'm going to give you guys better quality to go with the quality of the content. So I want it to be on par and I want it to match. But for those of you guys that do watch and for those of you guys that do stick around, thank you so much for sticking around. And I promise things will get better on my end, on the production end. So, yeah. So until the next time, guys, today is Monster Monday, if you guys don't already know. Being Human and Teen Wolf air today, Monday. Being Human airs at 9 Eastern Standard Time. Teen Wolf at 10 Eastern Standard Time. If you guys aren't a big fan of these shows, I highly recommend them. I'm a fan of both the UK and the US version of Being Human. And Teen Wolf, I gotta say, was a major surprise from what I thought it was going to be. Now, for tomorrow's episode, I'll cover a little bit of what we saw today of both of those shows as we recap it on Tuesday. But apart from that, I want you guys to have a beautiful night, beautiful day, beautiful weekend, beautiful start of the week, whatever's going on with your life. Until then, I'll see you guys.